What's up, everybody? Today, I'm going to be comparing the three best shortstops in today's game. Before I do that, if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you go subscribe, and yeah, let's get into the video. So today, I'm going to be comparing Yasmani Grandal, James McCann, and JT Realmuto. So, say who you think's going to win in the comments. Alright, so, just like last time, I'm going to be doing the offensive categories first, and then I'm going to move on to the defensive categories. Unlike last time, I'm only using 1 year for this, and that year is 2019. Yeah, let's get this started. So we're starting with plate appearances for home runs. Now you're probably wondering why I didn't just use home runs, but James McCann didn't play nearly as much as the other two catchers, so that'd be kind of unfair for him. James McCann hits a home run every 26 at-bats. Yasmani Grandal hits one every 23 at-bats. And JT Realmuto hits one every 24. So yes, Yasmani wins the home run category. Well, it's a good start for Yasmani Grandal, but now we're moving on to the category that he is not known for, and that is average. So let's just start with him. He has an average below 250, which isn't great, but I think catchers get a little bit more slack for their average. They're more power guys, and as I said before, Yasmani is the best with power. James McCann and JT Realmuto have very similar averages, as McCann has a 273 and JT Realmuto has a 275. So point Realmuto. So as I said last episode, OPS plus is one of my favorite stats, but since I talked about it last episode, I'm not going to go too in depth with it right here. But James McCann has 108 OPS plus, which is about league average. That's a little above that. JT Realmuto has a 109 OPS plus, and Yasmani Grandal is the cream of the crop with 119 OPS plus. It's looking pretty good for Yasmani so far with a 2-1 lead. Next, we have strikeout percentage. Now, catchers aren't really known for being contact guys, and a lot of them strike out a lot. And this is definitely true with this group. JT Realmuto is the lowest with a 23% strikeout, and that's still not good. And he still won this category. That's how bad catchers are striking out. Yasmani Grandal strikes out 27% of the time, while McCann strikes out a somewhat absurd 31% of the time. That's quite horrible. Alright, so we're tied 2-2 with Yasmani Grandal and JT Realmuto going into the fielding round, and McCann better be good at fielding because he is lagging behind right now. Let's start off with the caught stealing percentage. This stat is how often you throw someone out comparatively to how many times people try to steal on you. JT Realmuto throws people out 47% of the time, and he's led the league in throwing people out before. Next is James McCann with 31%, which is quite a steep drop off from JT. And even worse than that is Yasmani Grandal, who has a 27 caught stealing percentage. I'm pretty sure that's about league average, so defensively, when it comes to throwing out people, he's not too great. Alright, next let's go into one of catcher's biggest responsibilities, pass balls. Now, James McCann has the lowest out of any of them with only 3 pass balls in 2019, which seems very good. Yasmani, Grandal, and JT are tied, but they're very far away from McCann as they have 8 pass balls in the 2019 season. I think this might also be partly because McCann didn't play for as long, but still, I'm giving McCann the point for this one. The next category for catchers is actually also similar to pass balls because we are going to be looking at errors, which is mostly pass balls for catchers. So McCann has 7 errors in the 2019 season, while Yasmani Grandal has 8, and JT Realmuto has 9. So once again, McCann wins this category, but I'm only going to give him half a point because he really didn't play as much, and he only had 1 less error than Yasmani Grandal. So I'm going to give both Yasmani Grandal and James McCann half a point. Alright, we are now going to our final stat in the video and our only framing stat, which is catcher strike zone runs above average. This stat calculates the number of runs above or below average a catcher was worth based on how he framed. So, James McCann is actually below average as he has a -2 in this stat. JT Realmuto was barely above average with a 1, and Yasmani Grandal easily takes the cake framing because he had a 9, which is very high, I believe. Alright, so surprisingly, Yasmani Grandal takes the cake with a score of 3.5 compared to JT Realmuto's 3 and sadly James McCann's 1.5. It was very surprising for me because I thought JT Realmuto was the best catcher in the MLB, and he probably is, but just based on the categories I chose, Yasmani Grandal won. These videos are super fun, so whenever this video hits 50 views, I will start making the third base version. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed.